which is what necessitated this current move.
By the BOT?
By the BOT. Now, there was a call, don't forget, by Wike.
Yes.
Saying we should forget about going to Supreme Court. Why will Wike be saying we should forget about going to Supreme Court? It is because he knows the implication. But again, knowing Wike's bragado, he likes to show off, to tell the world that he is a superhuman being.
That he has won.
That he has won. He is always, his slogan is, I will win them. So he likes to win them. But this is a win-win situation for all because what we considered, we do not accept the judgment of the Court of Appeal in Abuja here, because the Court of Appeal erred in so many areas of their judgment. I can give you some if it will not be prolonging our discussion. But if you don't want, I can just go ahead and tell you why we stopped going to the Supreme Court. It is one of our first options. We had 3 options. The first option was for us to go to the Supreme Court. The second option was for us, since our NEC is the legally recognized NEC by INEC, we collect signatures, because our constitution says 2/3 of members can collect signature and hold a NEC meeting. If we collect signatures of 2/3 of members, we will now call for a NEC meeting, and in that NEC meeting, we will take a decision to form a caretaker committee, which will exclude the Wike faction. And the third one was to embrace our brothers, based on the appeal court judgment of Ibadan, and say, okay, let us come together. Let us see how, in the interest of other members of the party who would like to use the platform of the party to contest, because time is of the essence. If we don't, political activities will start on the 23rd of April, primaries, and terminate, on 30th of May. Now, if we go to the Supreme Court, how early will the Supreme Court be able to give judgment, and for us to now follow the judgment? So we also we had to look backwards and say, okay, we have to consider our party and consider our party members. And in doing so, that's why we agreed. Now, what Wike is saying, which you quoted, is a strategy of saying, now we are the ones now that have been recognized.
Yes.
So, when it comes to the negotiation, we will take the larger part. That is his but his own side can't do anything other than what we are doing. Now, they don't have, in fact, they have not done anything to progress the interests of the party. So far now, we are doing the e-registration, which is a prerequisite and a requirement. They don't have anybody to do the e-registration for them.
Let me ask you, Alaji, you've scattered around, but let me ask you pointedly.
Yes.
You have a so-called PDP member in the FCT minister, Barrister Nyesom Wike, who is an APC appointee as FCT minister.
Yes.
Who is the head of the faction, in this entire PDP saga, is the head of one faction, The question is that, is he fighting a just cause? Does he have, just cause in this entire saga? Or, because some are saying Wike is a hero. So, in your opinion, is Wike a hero or an agent of destabilization appointed to destroy the PDP?
Well, you see, even his appointment was shrouded in secrecy within our party.
No, he said he got approval from the party.
No, he got the approval from the national chairman at that time.
Okay, just the national chairman?
Only the national chairman, not the NWC. The NWC were not even aware. In fact, it was while he was responding to certain questions that he said he spoke to the national chairman,
I remember.
And the national chairman gave him approval in writing.
Correct.
So if he got approval, not from the party, but from the national chairman, of course, represents the party, but it was a clandestine understanding. It was not a just exercise.
So it was not like the PDP of old under Obasanjo that appointed opposition figures to create a sort of unity government.
Yes, no, in his own case, he was appointed to destabilize us.
Oh, you believe that?
Is there where have you ever heard that somebody will tell you that in River State there is no any other political, there is a rainbow coalition, and when you come out you say you are PDP, then you come to Abuja and you say PDP candidates should step down, the FCT candidate should step down, the Buhari candidate should step down for APC. What does that show? That this man, and then he went further to even say it, that just go and vote and leave the rest to me. What is the rest that will be left to him?
Okay, so Governor Makinde said, alleged that they had a meeting with the president, and Wike openly, promised, like an allegiance to the president, that I will hold the PDP down for you.
Yes.
So is that what we're seeing playing now? So was Governor Wike correct? Was Governor Makinde, was he right?
You see, Makinde is not somebody who is known to be flippant or loquacious. He is a person, when he speaks, you will find truth in whatever he says. And he works according to his conviction. So when he says that, and Wike denied it, I believe Makinde more than I believe Wike, because Wike can deny anything. Makinde will accept. When Ayo Fayoshe came out to say that he collected 50 billion, he said no, he didn't collect 50 billion. He collected 30, and then published the account details. That is accountability. Wike will not be able to publish that amount, that thing, and say I collected this amount. He will not be able to do it. So what I'm telling you is what Makinde did was heroism. Now, don't forget, Makinde went further to say that Tinubu said, Makinde said, but the person you are putting to take care of Oyo will not do a good job for you. He said, no, you are going to be the one to do it. And he said, no, I can't do it. I'm a PDP person. Now, that is to tell you that Tinubu had agreed, even though he said it was not Tinubu who made the suggestion, but tacitly, Tinubu has agreed with what Wike said. And that's why what is playing now. Why Wike is getting the presidential support. Anywhere we go, he boasts that he has won. Wike on his own accord can't do anything.
Let's nail this coffin finally on this Wike, Makinde, on this issue. The genesis of this, the entire problem, in fact, of the PDP, in my thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, is the G5 that massively undermined the presidential campaigns of the PDP in 2023 elections.
Yes.
Was it a grave miscalculation on the part of Seyi Makinde? Because I doubt if he would ever recover from that perception of, working together with an individual of the kind of Wike.
Yes.
So do you agree with me, Alayi Umar, that G5 is the genesis of this entire problem of the PDP and the failure of the party there, the hierarchy, to have come down heavily on these G5 governors, sanction them, if possibly, expel them? That's what has led us to where we are. What do you say?
Yes, I agree with you entirely that the G5 was partly responsible for our failure. But bringing Makinde in, I will tell you that Makinde joined the G5 in good faith.
Thinking they were fighting a just cause.
He thought they were fighting a just cause. He didn't know that he was helping somebody to fight his own battle. So he will later realize that he was not fighting a just cause, but he was fighting a personal battle that has somebody in. Now, some of the people that were in the G5, most of them lost election. The governor, Ifeanyi Ugwanyi, lost senatorial election in his state. Ekpeazu lost election. Otom lost election in their district. And when it came to their collective interest, Wike only put himself forward and left the rest. And when he got the position, he was telling them that they should relax, that the president will do something. What is an ambassador to somebody who was a former governor? And you are giving him ambassador. So the general idea was to fracture them and to continuously hold the leadership. And so when Makinde realized that the intentions were not noble and they were not genuine, he opted out and became a forget about the fact that they are shouting that because he was not given a minister. Whether he was given a minister or not, and he has a minister in the administration, whatever it is, if he discovers these things, Makinde will still have opted out, even allowing that the minister should be replaced. So it is not about any minister or something.
Okay, so back to the NWC and the NWC crisis. Now that the BOT, because initially everybody thought, in fact, Alhaji Turaki, the defunct or former chairman, had said he was going to his Supreme Court, he was appealing, but then the BOT has said no, let's do reconciliation.
He is not a former chairman. We are still looking at him as a chairman.
No, but the court has said it's not the NWC.
No.
Alhaji, hold on, Alhaji.
Wait.
The court that produced the NWC, the convention that produced him, the court has removed the legs from under it.
You see, when there is a process,
yes,
you don't say somebody is no longer there. Now, I will give you an example. Nyesom Wike, in his first election,
as Rivers State Governor,
he lost at the tribunal.
Yes, lost at the appeal.
But he was still the governor.
Yes.
He lost at the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
Yet he was still the governor. Then he won at the Supreme Court. And then substantively became the governor. So you don't remove somebody from a position merely because of court pronouncement until the final determination of the matter.
But my argument, Alhaji, you are right. Because that's the legal process.
Yes.
But the argument is that the BOT now has said we're not going on appeal to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
So what is the...
No, the BOT didn't say so.
Okay.
The BOT said they have directed their lawyers to look at the matter.
Okay.
And advise them accordingly.
Okay.
Meanwhile, they will pursue the other option.
Reconciliation. Now, let's do scenario. Now they want to do, they're pursuing reconciliation. What is the bargaining chip of the Turaki-led and the Wike-led? What's he looking at? What's the outlook looking at? Like, what do you expect?
Well, we expect a robust engagement, and we expect a give and take. Okay, you people take chairman, you people take secretary, you people take this, you people take that. This is what Wike is. That is what is engineering Wike to make statements ahead of time. That they are now in charge. So that when it comes to such discussions, he will now be telling Nigerians that they are the ones that should choose who is to be who and who is not to be who. And the window for appeal is 21 days. So our lawyers will have prepared their brief and everything. If reconciliation fails, then we'll proceed to the Supreme Court. And which means everybody will lose.
I'm sure PDP viewers, PDP members will pray that does not happen. And then this leads me to this very, very important point now, Alhaji. There were rumors of fillers. We are journalists, we have our sources.
Yeah.
You are a journalist yourself, so you know how we play the game.
Yes.
There were rumors that the PDP was a vehicle being primed, prepared for former president, Goodluck Jonathan, to ride on to contest 2027 presidential elections. And in fact, that the reason why, some of these destabilizing elements were hell-bent on making sure the PDP did not, do any primaries was to make sure that Goodluck Jonathan does not have any platform, any viable platform. So, as it is currently, confirm whether this rumor is true or false, confirm that first. And then if it is true, are you also doing everything to make sure that the PDP is ready? And will yes or Wike and his group, would they allow, Goodluck Jonathan to emerge as candidate of PDP?
Well, it is the fundamental right of former President Goodluck Jonathan to seek to become president again because he has another 4-year term. Personally, I believe his candidature will assist resolve the crisis within the polity, because he is from the south, and if PDP gets it, he knows we don't even have to negotiate with him as to whether they after he say no, it must go back to the north. It's just a direct reflection of the truth, because immediately he finishes his 4 years term, the thing will just automatically go back to the north. So he is a prime candidate for that position. Northerners are rooting for him, they like him, but the issue is whether anybody is priming him for that. You know, this current, the Turaki-led NWC is very much, has always been saying it is a rebirth. There will no longer be impunity or imposition.
Imposition.
Yeah, so there will be primaries.
Yeah.
And if there are primaries and Jonathan loses, he has to give way to the winner. So it is not something that they may have their individual choices. We are all human beings. But if you have your individual choice, it doesn't say that, you know, based on individual choice, you must, you know, impose somebody. Then we are now going back to what we have said we were not going to do. So the issue that Goodluck Jonathan is being primed for that position is not true. Okay. It is not correct. It is merely the conjunctures of, if you remember at some point, anytime he speaks or the APC was always attacking him, believing that he was coming out to contest. And of course, this is what Wike is trying to do, to stop anybody from contesting. And he may not achieve his aim, because time, there is still time. It is not about the lengthness of time. It is when people know you. If Jonathan is our candidate, people know him. He doesn't have to go and reintroduce himself to the society. So there's nothing.
Now, knowing Wike's role, I mean, pretty much from what we have said, we've agreed that he's been, you know, he's playing a destabilizing role in the PDP. Now, does that not already tell the BOT members of the PDP that seeking reconciliation with this, you know, faction, the Wike faction, is a dead end already? What do you think?
Well, we are not the first people to. The BOT is very considerate. The BOT is not looking at killing the PDP. Because we cannot go into 2027 election without candidates. Whereas we have so many candidates that can win governorship elections in certain states. And that is what Wike is trying to stop, so that we don't stage the apple cart. So in doing so, we need the PDP to be intact. And we need the PDP, you know, to operate as a team. Now, he himself, he has two very important challenges that is making him to come out to do this thing.
Which are?
One, he wants Senator Anyanwu to contest under the PDP the governorship of Imo State, which is an off-cycle election, which comes up next year in November. Also, he has clearly stated that he does not want Fubara to go back. And Fubara has already a platform of APC. And he does not believe that Fubara will be jettisoned and will not be allowed to go for a second term. And he doesn't want him to go for a second term. So he needs a platform that is as strong as the APC in his own state to be able to dislodge Fubara. So he has also his personal reasons, his interest, why he's doing it. He's not doing it because he loves the party. Yeah. He does not love the party.